All right, so the new project is finally in my garage. It's time to get started. I've been waiting to do this for a little while, but I want to tell you about all of the stuff that I already have for the car. I've got big plans for it. I got really big plans. So we're gonna paint the engine bay first. We're gonna put an LS in there because who doesn't love an LS swapped car, right? That's gonna bring big power. And because it's a 240, we're gonna put a T56 transmission, which I already have, in the trunk. I have the clutch for it. I have the new flywheel for it. I even have the master cylinder for it. I've got some frame stiffening stuff that I'm gonna weld in, which is a little bit different for a 240 build. And then I've got all new suspension components, basically. Control arms, links, and stuff like that. New coilovers, which are gonna make everything better. I got a big brake kit that's gonna put massive brakes on the front of this thing so it stops like a nice car. These cars weigh so much less than modern cars, so it's dramatically gonna improve the performance of this vehicle. I have new carpet coming. I've got to get a new radio bezel, but I have a new dash cover to kind of solve that sort of cracking thing, which I'm gonna show you about that. I think that I can restore the headlights. We're gonna see about that, because if I can't, I've got to source some from Japan in the next 8 to 12 weeks. Because gentlemen, that is how long I hope to get this car completely built from what it is now to what it's gonna be. And I'm telling you, you're gonna wanna stay tuned because this is gonna be a fast build. It's not gonna be 4.5 years like the twin turbo Chevelle. The twin turbo Chevelle was really nice, but this thing is gonna be so fast. And the red that I already picked out, you know I'm good with picking colors. I paint cars. That candy blue was something special. Something special. The color should really pop when you paint a car. It shouldn't be just like, It should be like, bam, check that out. You know what I mean? Now, if you get a car and it's already got a color you don't like, well, that's fine. But if you're gonna paint a car, you might as well paint it something you're really gonna like. And you know that's what I do. So let's get started. I've already pressure washed the engine bay, so it's ready now. Something that I didn't account for is that there was a fuel leak on the ramp of the trailer that I used, and so somehow the fuel line must have got messed up. I don't know how. There was fuel leak, so we got to figure out what that is. I don't know if it needs a new tank or if it's just a line. I can't really crawl underneath there, so I got some neighbors that really like my channel, Caleb and his buddy, and I might see if they'll come over and look under there for me and maybe work out some kind of trade with them. Now, the other things that we're going to do. And we have a new radiator and a new fan setup. We have new hoses coming. We have a new water pump for the engine. We have new bracket relocation for the LS. We have a new intake for the LS. We have a big 92 millimeter throttle body for the LS. That thing is gonna breathe so good. I have swap headers. I have the swap pan. I have the swap mounts. I even have the drive shaft already. I have so many parts for this car that I couldn't even show them all in this video because there's just too much. I got some Nitto NT 555, I think they're called. I heard they're pretty good. I don't know. I heard they're good tires. I love good tires. My buddy Victor's got a tire shop, and he always hooks me up with the best tires. So I got that going on. Now the other thing is I thought about getting a 3D printer. You guys think I should get one? Now, you know I'm a tool hound, right? I bought a pressure washer just to pressure wash this. So I love buying tools. But the thing is, the 3D scanner is like $1,500. And then if you want to get like the thing to kind of scan up products, I mean, the 3D printer is like $1,500. The carbon, the XC carbon or something like that prints out all kinds of really nice stuff. One of my customers had one, and I think it was incredible. So the other thing that but if you want to like scan with like a scanner thing, those are like $2,000. So you're looking at like $3,500 to print a $20 part. And I'm like, I don't know, but if you guys think I should get one for the channel, you might be able to talk me into it. Now, I know I'm gonna need some lights because these are cracked. I can restore lights, but these are all cracked. So I don't wanna restore cracked lights that are all kind of cracked up, but if I have to, I will, because I really like OEM stuff, but sometimes you have to get aftermarket. And aftermarket, when you're talking about lights, they don't even make them for this car. So there's quite a few things that we're gonna do, and hopefully I'm gonna put out a video at least once a week, but maybe twice a week if I can really get to it. But I gotta stop talking and I gotta start working. So let's get to it. All right, so the car came with a battery, and I don't know if it's any good. I don't want to waste money. This has 700 cold cranking amps, and it would not turn down the windows, or, you know, roll down the windows. So I don't know if there's a shortage on that or if it's just a bad battery. But luckily, I have this thing right here that I'm going to use that somebody sent me to try out, and this topped on. And let's see what it does. So it says it's 12.52 volts, which is seemed pretty good. Okay, we're gonna enter, and then we're gonna do a battery test. It's a regular battery, and then the cold cranking amp is 700. So we're gonna do enter. Enter, it's testing. Let's see what it says. It says it's a good battery. It says its health is 75%, which is only 606 cold cranking amps, which it's got 85% charge. So maybe we charge the battery, see if that kind of fixes things. Because I don't want to waste money. Let's do that. If you guys talk me into it, I might buy a gel battery or one of those really, what are those really light ones? Lithiums? Those would be pretty cool. All right, let's put this on charger while we're doing all the other stuff. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take a picture of all of these stickers because I want to get them replicated. There's a company that replicates stickers for you. As a body shop, I learned about them. And I'm like, man, I would love to get all this stuff put back on here. It's gonna be a neat little trick. There's a sticker over here that says hard clear coat. What I'm gonna do now is I wanna test a little section of this light to see if I can polish it out. I wanna sand it and polish it. Just a little test section. I think I can. Let's try that. All right, so the first thing I wanna do is I'm gonna hit it with 400 grit. 400 grit's gonna make all this kind of go away, and then we'll hit it with other grits. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so I've used 2 sheets of 400 grit, and now we're gonna hit it with 800 grit. All right, now that we've done 800 grit, we're gonna do 1000 grit. All right, now we hit it with 1500 grit. All right, you could probably hit it with 2000 grit if you wanted to, but I don't think we need to see the results. Let's go ahead and try to buff it out. Now this is what's called your step 2 kind of polish. Let's go ahead and buff it out and see. Oh my gosh, man, these are gonna be so good. I mean, there's a little bit of a yellow tint, but I think it's because this is still yellow up there. So I think once I get rid of that and get the bottom part, wow, let me show you. So that's the original one, not buffed out. And then this is the one that I buffed out. What a difference, look at that. That is gonna be amazing. Look at that right there. Or right there. Such a huge difference, guys. Such a huge difference. So you're probably wondering why I got a sledgehammer and I'm inside the engine bay. Well, when you do an LS swap, you've got to spread this all apart, and I'm going to be putting this thing on jack stands, so I don't want to be beating on it on jack stands. So I'm going to go ahead and clearance it. There's a website I found that had some diagrams of how they did theirs. There's some pictures, so I'm going to smash this in and hopefully I get enough. So let's go ahead and take care of that. I'm gonna put the light down here so I can see really good. There's a body line inside here. I'm gonna try to move that in a little bit. I think that should be enough clearance. I probably pushed it in about 1 inch or so on both sides. Now it's time to strip all this stuff out. Before we put the engine in, we wanna get all this nice and cleaned out, and we wanna paint all of it. All right, so I've already stripped almost all the stuff off of this side, and I just got a little bit left to do. And then this side will be ready to clean and scuff. We gotta remove the coilovers, of course, but we can't do that until we get the car up in the air. Let's go ahead and do this side still. Check it out, it still has the factory battery tray thing. Isn't that crazy? Another cool factory part you don't find. Man, these new V-bore pliers I think will be perfect for this. Anybody know what that is? I messed up. Well, just to be clear, there's supposed to be 5 of these, and there's 3. One of the things I like to do is I like to put the wheel under the car, just in case if something happens, I don't have to worry about getting crushed. I'd rather lose a rim than lose a life. No car is worth your life.
Okay, so I think that the previous owner took weight saving a little bit too far.
It does have the Z32 brakes, it looks like, but we're gonna get the bigger rotors. Well, there's the leaky coilover.
Now, I always wanted a set of these Enki wheels on all the 240s that I built. These are rotary forged, which are so light and so strong. All the drift cars had them back in the day, and I'm sure they probably still do. And so I wanted to check the fitment, though, before I ordered tires because I didn't want to have to buy new rims and new tires. So they fit great, and I am so excited. I like them set in just a little bit. Let me know what you think. I'm really glad that I ended up jacking up the car before I painted the engine bay because I realized that the wheel wells were just covered in grease and oil. Just, you know, it's a 30-year-old car and it probably wasn't cleaned much. It's all original in here, all original paint, all original little liner and stuff like that. It's just absolutely crazy how much this car has originality. And the degreaser, I like to kind of let it sit for a little while. Then I use my new electric pressure washer, which actually works really good. I mean, if you're looking for a pressure washer, I've had gas-powered ones, and you know, they were all finicky. And this thing it's just nice. I don't have to mess with none of that stuff anymore. And I was able to clean all this stuff out. And then luckily I sprayed it out in my driveway and kind of kept that nice because my HOA they would get so mad they'd want to kick a puppy if I didn't keep my driveway nice and pretty. You know how they are. Everybody has that HOA, and man, they're nice, but man, they sure are strict.
Time to take the bumper off. Let's do that first. I'll have to restore that, weld that little piece back on there. They had it glued on. I think we're gonna need new lights. Those are kind of got a whole bunch of little cracks all in it. To get these headlights out, you're definitely gonna need to take out these little side little nuts and bolts. After you've removed that corner marker, then it'll come out. Big old spider. It's a little bit tweaked. This one looks to be broken in some sort of accident.
So the next thing I want to do is pull out this steering rack. It was leaking, I think. That's what the previous owner told me. There's a whole bunch of oil in it, so you can't really tell exactly where it was coming from. But I wanted to mark all my pins and take all this stuff out. So hopefully when I rebuild it and put it back together, I won't have to do too much adjustments. Although I will be going to my buddy's shop to get an alignment. I didn't do that on the Chevelle, and I kind of wish I would have, honestly. Just because I want that steering wheel to kind of sit perfect in there. So these just tap these down. They came off pretty easy. And then once you do that, you take out the 4 little bolts down there, and you pull the whole thing out after you disconnect the lines. Simple. Look how nasty this carpet is. Oh my god, I had to vacuum it out before I could get it out. This is so disgusting to me. Then I removed the clutch master cylinder. After loosening the coilover nuts, I was able to clean the engine bay and get it nice and clean. I love this glass cleaner. It's by Sprayway. I use it for everything, bumpers and all kinds of stuff. Even cleans off love bugs. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and shut up so you can watch me paint. This is the high-tech paint, though, that I use. It works really amazing. I tried it on a golf cart recently just to kind of try out some new lower-cost products, and I am absolutely blown away. This is probably one of my most favorite red colors, honestly. It's right there up with Ferrari red.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for today. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. Hope you like this channel. Tomorrow, big things.